best friends, got each other's back. We used to cruise around with a bass to the max. Everyone in school, while I was in the lab, cooking up some beats that would turn into tracks. High school chillin', I was on a mission. I had bigger dreams of being a musician. Teachers always talked, but I couldn't seem to listen. I lived in a fantasy land, they called it fiction. But I was gonna be big one day, playing shows on the road to a sold out stage. Nobody really cared or believed I would make it anywhere close, I would fail and fade. But that's cool, I love that, cause any little doubt gives me energy back. And now, I'm in a place where I'm glad I never gave up on the dreams I had. And big dreams lead to big things, and big swings lead to big rings. Championships or the big screen, anyone who did anything took a big swing. And big dreams lead to big things, and big swings lead to big rings. Championships or the big screen, anyone who did anything took a big swing. Yeah, let's go. So if you want something big, you gotta swing fast, swing hard and commit. You might miss 10 times, but when you hit, just make sure that you get all of it, okay? People at the top took risks. Investing and testing is all that they did. It's not complicated, it just takes grit. So never give up, take a swing at it. And big dreams lead to big things, and big swings lead to big rings. Championships or the big screen, anyone who did anything took a big swing. And big dreams lead to big things, and big swings lead to big rings. Championships or the big screen, anyone who did anything took a big swing.
Yo guys, what is up? Welcome to the episode 65 of the Pick and Roll Podcast. I'm here with my guys, Cosette Gladney, Rios from Just Fans Podcast, next to Randy and Nikki C's. How's everyone doing?
Four more to go.
Great. I was waiting for that. I'm waiting for that. Each time when I finish the introduction, I'm just waiting. Happy hump. Yep. There you go, Nikki. There you go. But really quick, guys, if you haven't yet, please go to the Hardcore Sports Network. There is a link. And speaking of that, thank you all for your support over there, especially on the basketball streams. Randy with the March Madness for the women's, just Randy's basketball in general. And we uploaded a Caitlin Clark clip from last week, and that's doing really well. So thank you all for all the support on the basketball. We really appreciate it. So thank you. So let's get right into it, shall we? Randy, Rajon Rondo retired. Give me your thoughts, Randy.
Yeah, man. I kind of thought he was actually already done and retired. I did when he kind of announced it. I was like, oh shit, now it's official. Absolute dog when it comes to the point guard position. The things he was able to do with the ball and just the stories you hear afterwards just kind of like makes you scratch your head. Absolute dog on the court and off the court. And that infamous photo of him after he won the chip of him and his son on the court is just going to live in infamy. So shout out to Rajon Rondo for an awesome career.
Yeah. Nikki, how do you feel about Rondo retiring?
Hey, well, he earned it. Everything he got in his career, he got a couple rings out of it. He's a solid player. I mean, he's not the greatest player in the world, but he had a nice career, though, and he was a contributor to that Celtics team. He's a solid role player with the Lakers in 2020. So, hey, he had a long career. He did a lot. And hey, he still did more than a lot of players that ever stepped foot on a basketball court. So hey, congratulations, Rajon Rondo. Best of luck in your future endeavors.
Yeah, and Coach Rondo, how do you feel?
Peace and blessings. That's about it.
That's about it. All right. Rios?
Yeah, he had a pretty good career. He was a dog when he was with Boston, man. Like I enjoyed watching him play and hitting his fights with Chris Paul, and that always cracks me up thinking about it. But yeah, I'm with Randy. I thought he was retired too, but hey, he's earned it. He's had a long career, and get to enjoy some time with his family and just enjoy retirement.
Yeah, happy for him, even though he was a thorn to the Sixers side for a while there. So other than that, congrats to Rondo. Hall of Famer, you guys think? Yes or no?
No.
I don't see it.
Oh, okay.
Mm-mm.
He was solid with Boston, but he was, the fourth, best player on that team.
Right. And he had, yeah. I mean, just like, isn't he like third all time in assists or something like that? Isn't he up there in assists?
I don't know about third all time, but I know he's probably maybe in the top 20, top 15.
Something like that. He's high up there in assists. So Rondo is great. And boy, but no Hall of Fame. Okay. Hey.
Yeah. He's a four-time All-Star, 3-time assist champ. He's a 2009, 2010 steals champ. He's a 2-time NBA champ, 2011, 2012 All-NBA, 2006, 2007 All-Rookie, and he's a 4-time All-Defensive.
Wow. Yeah. And speaking of Hall of Fame, Randy, Vince Carter and Chauncey Billups, they're in the Hall of Fame. They just got inducted. So, give me your thoughts on Vince Carter, bro.
Yes, let's fucking go. It's about damn time. And he said he's going to go in wearing this beautiful freaking jersey. So I'm excited. I'm also excited for Chauncey Billups as well. Another ex-Raptor for a lot of people that haven't followed the Raptors. Was with us for just a little cup of tea. But still, man, happy for Carter. Happy for Billups. But I'm just excited to see a Raptor in the Hall of Fame now. Wearing this beautiful looking jersey, I might add.
All right. We'll go with Coach on this one. Vince Carter and Chauncey Billups. Deserving?
Yeah, they're definitely deserving. I mean, Vince Carter basically put Toronto on the map. Let's be real.
Yes.
I mean, he drew eyes to Toronto and introduced them to the NBA scene. Basically, Chauncey Billups. Yeah, he was with the Knicks for a minute, and he's been around. Gritty guy. I know most people don't look at him as super talented, but I mean, the kid came from Colorado and made a name for himself. Because think about that. No one was thinking about Colorado basketball, ever imagine anyone coming out of Colorado basketball, and here you go. He made a name for himself, and he opened the door for other guys to follow him, at least have to get to the NBA, some to get have a decent career, so.
Hey, there you go.
And I also wanted to add on to what Coach said too. Like, he did a lot for Canada basketball as well. I mean, you look at the SGAs and Benedict Mathurin's of the NBA now, and like even just the influx of Canadians in the NBA, it was because of what Vinsanity did when he was with the Raptors. And like Coach said, putting Toronto on the map, we had him obviously and his cousin, but still like just an absolute dog. And like the things that he could do on the court, the hops that man had were next level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Rios, Vince Carter and Chauncey Billups.
Oh yeah, very well deserving. I watched their entire careers. I mean, I remember that first dunk contest of Vince Carter. I was like, man, I was like, this guy's the greatest dunker ever. And with Chauncey Billups, he was on that Pistons team that upset the Lakers super team. Like, they were about to four-peat basically, and they beat that team. Like, literally, no one outside of Detroit gave those guys a chance to win, and he was the catalyst of that offense on that team. And they've had great long careers, and I'm happy that they're in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Nikki.
Hey, I mean, both guys obviously deserve Vince Carter. He was a big star, had a long career, numerous All-Star games. Even with the Mavs in 2011, he was a good role player on that team. And he was a good role player in Orlando for that cup of coffee. He was there too. So even his later career, he was still a solid role player. And he was a big star. That's the big thing that comes into it as well.
Yeah.
So definitely deserved. In the case of Chauncey Billups, to me, what showed his value was when he was traded from Detroit to Denver. You saw instantly how both teams were that year. Denver was able to go further in the playoffs with him, so he proved to be an X factor for them. And he was also an X factor for the Pistons. You saw how they went one and done without him and then started to fall off.
I was actually going to bring that up. Glad you did, because that trade was for Allen Iverson.
Right.
Allen Iverson got traded to the Pistons, and wow, I still can't believe that went down. I don't even think Iverson even played. How many games did he play there? Like, what, 3 or something like that?
Play much, and he was upset about the whole idea of coming off the bench. There's that soundbite. I never heard a star player come off the bench.
Howdy! 3 more shows. 3 more shows.
It's 4.
Today don't count. It's over. Today's gonna be
No,
over.
it's not.
66, 67, 68, 69. That's 4.
3 more shows.
So, all right. Yep.
After 3 more shows, then we'll be celebrating the 69. That's what I.
There you go.
That's what I was trying to
Okay.
put.
I just want to have what Blaze is smoking.
It is so tough to sit here and not be on the show. I'm not 100%, and I'm trying to get better for this weekend because I'm going to fly to Philly, and at the same time, my basement's flooded. So the whole day I've been mopping and sweeping damn water through my whole damn basement. So it's been a shitty day, but I had to come in and give props to the Hall of Famers.
There
I
you
got them
go.
both. I got Chauncey and VC. And I heard your comments, and it's so well deserved to see players that, you know, they never like led the league or top 5 players, but they were so impactful on their teams. And like Coach even said too about Colorado basketball when Billups came up through there. And a lot of people don't even know who this is when I show a Colorado jersey. And I'm like, you remember Chauncey Billups? And they're like, yeah, I do, of course. And these are 2 players that, especially Chauncey, when the game was on the line or when the game was really important, he could raise his level of his game. Like Chauncey could step up. He could be a facilitator, but he could also run the whole game. Like the dude could take over a game. That's what I loved about him. And Vince, arguably the greatest in-game dunker of all time.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Blaze, I was seeing you in the chat. You don't think Rondo's deserving in the Hall of Fame?
No, I got to be real. I mean, he's a Kentucky boy. He's done a lot of great
That's
stuff.
why I was shocked. I was like, oh, wow.
Well, that's why I said that in the chat too. You know, I'm not going to be biased just because he's from the team I liked in college. I mean, he did well, but when you compare him to other players that have, you know, leading the league and this or that, or, you know, more all-stars, more championships. I mean, there could be an argument for him at some point, but I don't know. I just got to be real. I don't think he's real close, but he's not going to be in anytime soon if he ever does get in. I don't know. I mean, we got playoff Rondo, another one who stepped up whenever he had to, and that's huge especially in today's NBA, to be able to pace yourself throughout the season and then raise your game at the end.
Yeah. And actually, Rondo played on the Celtics, so the Celtics were actually big rivals of like all of our teams pretty much, with the Sixers, Raptors. So who's your favorite rivalry? It could be like a player rivalry all time, or it could be a team-to-team rivalry. Whoever wants to go first, your favorite rivalry of all time.
Celtics Sixers is still mine.
Really?
It's still today, because back in the day, I've said this a million times, most of the people I knew were Dr. J or Larry Bird. I mean, They were Magic or Larry Bird. I'm sorry. Magic or Bird. Magic and Bird. I was the Dr. J guy, like hoping they would finally get to the finals and win one. And then finally in '83, they did. And it was always, you know, the Celtics and Lakers, arguably the 2 greatest franchises in NBA history over the long haul. But the Sixers were always like right there trying to dig into the Celtics. So, and now we still have that feud now. That's why I love it so much. 40 years later, Sixers and Celtics still. I mean, there's a bunch of them, but that's the first one that came to my mind.
Yeah. Nikki, do you have any favorite rivalries?
I'm going to go Lakers Spurs. And the reason why is because I have a bigger connection with that rivalry. As great as Knicks Bulls, Magic versus Bird, and those rivalries were, I got to pretty much see the entire Lakers versus Spurs or Kobe versus Duncan or however you want to put it rivalry. So I felt a bigger connection there. And it was the two most dominant teams of the 2000s trading blows figuratively with each other, which made that rivalry cool. Because you had the Spurs eliminate the Lakers a few times. Lakers got them a few times on the road in some of their championships. And what's always cool is that Kobe learned French just to trash talk Tony Parker.
Right?
Yes, that's awesome.
That was great. That was great. Rios, do you have a favorite rivalry, team, player? You have a favorite rivalry?
I'm gonna go team Rockets and Spurs because we were the ones that initially we were the big brother, like we were the ones that were dominating the entire team in the '90s, and then they got Tim Duncan, they were able to get Ginobili, Tony Parker, and they had their little dynasty run, so they were the ones eliminating us for a while. And then when we got hard, we're the ones we was a little bit back and forth, and now it's we're both young teams, and I'm excited to see this rivalry get renewed again.
Yeah, Sengun versus Wemby. I'm excited to see that coming up in a couple of years. Randy, you got one?
Yeah, man. Growing up, obviously, I was a big Jordan fan. So for me, it's the Chicago Bulls and the Detroit Pistons. The 90s, we witnessed, a fierce rivalry between the Bulls and the Pistons, obviously led by Michael Jordan, who was sought to dismantle the rugged Pistons who were called, the bad boys. And just being able to watch that happen and the semiotic of Michael Jordan becoming who he was, and then the Pippen becoming the guy, and then Rodman being there, just like it was so awesome to watch. It made me become a real NBA fan. So for me, it's got to be the Bulls and Pistons.
And it's actually funny you say that. I was watching a video on a rivalry between Jordan and Thomas, and it's still going on to this day. After what Isaiah Thomas and the Pistons did, they walked off. So that is still going on to this day. So
right.
Coach, what about you?
That's the sad part about it.
Yep.
Yeah. Here we go. My first one will always be Lakers Celtics, because Lakers, it was Bird and Magic. I mean, what more can I say coming from college into the pros? And it just seemed like throughout my younger years, it was always those two. No matter what, playing for an NBA title, Boston and the Lakers, no matter what. As a Knicks fan, I want to say the Celtics because I had great pride when Patrick Ewing, they swept them, and then they took the broom out and swept the Boston parquet floor. But it's actually Miami. I mean, I go back to when Jeff Van Gundy was hanging on to Alonzo Mourning. You got PJ Brown taking Charlie Ward and flipping him and throwing him into the stands. You got the great game with Allen Houston coming down the lane, hitting that last minute shot. Tim Hardaway Jr. with the crossovers, always getting somebody on the Knicks defense. John Starks doing senior. John Starks always doing something to be an antagonist to Miami. So for me, it's always going to be Miami, but I still got to show respect to my first one, which will always be Boston and LA.
Fair enough.
All right. So
Heat rivalry was something else. I
Yes.
just barely missed it.
yeah. So for me, I think it's kind of obvious here. It will be Allen Iverson and Kobe Bryant in the 2000s finals, 2000-2001. Just the fact that the Sixers and in the sweep of the Lakers going 16-0, and it's like just that alone, Iverson's just carrying that team and everything, and then Kobe, just him being a young dog, him attacking, Shaq being dominant right there. So for me, it's that 1 year of Iverson, Sixers and Lakers. So yeah,
Mutombo and Shaq.
Mutombo and Shaq. Yeah, it was actually kind of funny because we had Theo Ratliff and we traded for Mutombo. So it's like, dang, all right, we'll go with that. So all right, what is our prime time? How's it going, man? Thank you for stopping by. So let me just pull this up. We're not doing the wheel yet. We're gonna go here. All right, so Coach, we're going to be talking about what Brian Windhorst said about Jalen Brunson being a foul hunter. Oh, wait. Hold on. Sorry, I clicked that by accident. Let me go back. Bookmarks. There we go. Oh, come on. All right, fine. I'll read it over here. Hold on. There we go. He doesn't have the reputation of Harden or Trae Young, but he's a foul hunter. He uses the dark arts, and this is what the referees are cracking down on. The fouls that he gets sometimes are not what they're going to give him. Your thoughts, Coach?
Okay, Brian Windhorst. Hey, that's your opinion, but I mean, I get it. I understand. He does try to draw contact, but that has always been an art throughout my whole tenure of being a fan watching the game. I mean, you go back. I can go back into the 70s and see James Worthy, doing that, trying to draw fouls. Dr. J used to do it with the Sixers. I mean, Larry Bird. Guys have always. Michael Jordan, probably one of the greatest, was a if you want to classify that, is a foul hunter. So that is the only thing I will say about the basketball that bothers me is the penalty phase. If you're a superstar, you get the benefit of the doubt, but if you're an everyday player, then no, you don't. But in football, a holding is a holding call. Pass interference is a pass interference. Some people may question saying the referees are, but no, we all see it, But in basketball, hey, Jalen Brunson has gotten calls that he didn't deserve to get called. I mean, he drew fouls that weren't deserving. I was like, yo, that's not a foul. So, but that's every player. I mean, or a lot of superstar players, they all get that. You can go through the list and you can look at it. Even now, superstars now, you name a superstar and tell me that they don't get calls from time to time.
Giannis.
Or they're out there purposefully trying to draw fouls. They all do it.
LaFlop.
So, exactly. You're saying LeBron flops. Well, that's trying to draw a foul. Yep. So, this theory that you're purposefully going down, to say that also means that you're stagnating the offense. That's how I'm taking it. Because if you're a foul hunter, that means you're not trying to get assists or whatever. You're only worrying about your numbers. But if you look at his numbers, he's up there in assists too, also. So hey, he's the focal point of the offense. We all see that. We all know that. Knicks fans, we know it. You call him a foul hunter, I just think he's crafty at trying to, influence the referees. Because, I can tell you from past experience, I used to try and draw holding calls from referees. Offensive lineman has me locked in the upper shoulder, and I do a rip move. I lock his elbow and get separation so he can't move his hands. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Jalen Brunson, he's going into your body. He's trying to get a foul. They all do it. So go ahead, y'all got it.
All right, Randy, you got anything to say about this?
Yeah, man, I got a lot actually. There's a gentleman by the name of Luka Doncic, who's I think is a more of a foul hunter than I would say Jalen Brunson. And then what's cool is you can go and look at the stats. And online right now, number one for fouls drawn is Giannis Antetokounmpo, 589. You go down to number 4, it's Jalen Brunson, 423. So, I mean, if you're going to sit there and call him the foul hunter, then what's that? What is Giannis, the foul hunter king? Like,
who's 2 and 3? Who's 2 and 3?
Number 2 is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 458, and then number 3 is Luka Doncic at 452.
Hey, I have to say this right here. If Embiid didn't get injured, he would have been number 1. I'm just saying.
Number 5 is actually surprising. It's DeMar DeRozan at 409.
Okay. Wow. All right. So, Randy, go on. Sorry to cut you off there.
But no, I'm just saying, like obviously we got the stats, and men lie, women lie, but stats don't lie. And right now it's, he's got 423, but I'm looking at a glaring number of somebody almost having 600. That's almost 200 more than this man. So, he a foul hunter? No. Is he trying to use fouls to his benefit? Absolutely. But who isn't? So it's like I don't know where this is coming from.
All right. Blaze, you there? If you're not there, I'll just go right to the
Yeah, I'm here. couple things. Number one, I normally like Windhorst takes, but to me, this is one of the reasons why I don't watch ESPN and a lot of the news that they put out. Because this looks like someone just trying to find news out of something that's really technically not that much of news.
Yeah.
So, and that's what ESPN does on a regular basis anymore. Number one, like Coach says, or number two, I guess, like Coach says, this type of stuff has been around for a really long time. The only thing I have a problem with is the egregious ones. When you're throwing your arms up or you get hit in the ribs and you hold your eye and shit like that, where it's just all over and over. But let's look at it this way. If you're Jalen Brunson and you're an 84% free throw shooter, if you're a foul hunter, aren't you playing to your strength?
Yes.
So,
Yep.
I mean, if you're arguably a great, if not one of the best at the free throw line, wouldn't you want to hunt for fouls and try to get to the line because you're that good on the free throw line? So this is not news to me at all. This is just someone, Windhorst trying to make news out of something that's not really news. And I wouldn't compare it to anything close to what Harden or Trae Young does. And I don't even think Trae Young's is anywhere near what Harden does.
And that's halftime's favorite player.
Yeah, so I mean, I just think he's a smart player. If you ask me, if he's foul hunting, if you're going to call him a foul hunter, if I shot 85%, I'd be wanting to go to the foul line all the time too. What the hell?
Right. Nikki, how about you, bro?
I don't really have much to add to it because most of you guys nailed the point, especially Coach nailed it. And you guys talk about how players do this all the time. It's true. Players do it all the time. It's interesting that Next Shift brought up Luka. You could say that maybe Jalen learned a little bit of that from Luka during their time with the Mavs.
Yeah.
But regardless, this is just something players do all the time to get calls in their favor. So it's not breaking news to me. It's part of the game.
It's part of the game now more than it was in the past. Like Coach said, it's been around, but it is definitely around more now.
Yeah, I think the bigger story would be it's happening more now. A lot more flopping.
Yep. Rios, how about you?
Yeah, I don't like the foul hunter term, like, because he's not out there flopping, trying to look for, trying to influence the referees. He's driving hard to the basket and he's getting hit. Like he's trying to force contact because he's driving to the hoop. Like you're taught as kid. If you're gonna drive to the basket, try to draw a foul and make sure you make it. Like guys like LeBron and Harden that flop looking to get calls. That's what I would call a foul hunter. A guy playing hard, that's not a foul. He's just making contact. Well, what else do they want him to do?
It's part of the game now. It's part of the game. Look at pass interference in football to throw a comparison. How many times quarterbacks just throw it up hoping to get a penalty call?
Yeah.
It's the same thing in basketball now. They're going to look at the ref 10 times to try to get the call the 11th time.
Wait, Blaze, are you blaming the refs now?
No, they're going to shrug their shoulders or look at the ref and shake their head and wave them off when they think it's a foul. Because every time someone misses a shot in the NBA, pretty much, they think it's a foul. But you got to hunt for fouls, honestly. This is a compliment to Jalen Brunson, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah. So, for me, Brunson's just trying to win. After what we've seen from him and Nova, just doing what he takes to win and help the team win. He's playing textbook basketball. That's basically what it is. I'm getting tired of this. Really, I am. I mean, I had to see Harden do it for like a year and a half. I kind of saw Embiid do it. So, all right, not kind of. I've seen Embiid do it.
It's everywhere.
So,
You have to. You got to keep up with everybody else that's doing it. I don't blame them for doing it now.
I don't either. I
just don't like the egregious shit. The stuff that you can obviously tell.
Yep. What is up, Prime Time? What is up, Daniel, Charles, and Next Shift? What is up, man? Thanks for stopping by. Oh, wait. Okay. All right. So now it's time.
Oh, the fucking wheel.
Yep.
Ah, Lord.
We're just doing the X factors for each playoff team. That's it. Who's X factor? Very
Somebody's
easy.
landing on their team. Somebody's going to land on their own team.
All right. So we're gonna start off with Rios here.
Well, maybe not Rios.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
I don't think that's on there yet. You can still creep in.
All right. Who's the X
God.
factor for the Lakers?
There's only one.
And Anthony Davis, because he controls both ends of the court. If he's out there healthy and he's providing good defense, and he's able to get buckets, he's going to be their X factor. If he has an off night, I don't think LeBron can carry them by himself.
Agreed. And Nikki, let's see who you got here. Please not the Sixers again. Oh, wow. Mavericks. We were just talking about the Mavericks.
Mavericks. It's all going to boil down to Luka and how much he can do. Because remember, a couple of years back, Luka pretty much carried that team to the conference finals, especially against the Suns, a series that they should have easily lost. So in that Game 7, he went out there with the chip on his shoulder and sent the Suns home in embarrassing fashion. If he can have another type of run there with a better supporting cast, that could do something big for them. They could possibly make a deep run, maybe, especially, and they've gotten hot lately too. So I think it's going to come down to Luka.
I like that. All right. Blaze, who do you got?
I don't know. You gotta spin the wheel.
I know. That's why I said spun it. Okay, come on. Go to Pelicans.
No, please don't.
That's your favorite team name.
Frozen. It's Frozen for me. All right.
You got the Pelicans.
I think they need to just change their name. Then that'd be good. It's tough. I mean, you could easily say Zion, because he's never really had a playoff run. So if we get prime Zion in the playoffs, he's going to be hard to stop. And that's the easy answer, though. I mean, the other answer would be, for me, I would say C.J. McCollum.
Yep.
He would have to facilitate and step his game up as well, and the other guys would follow along. So I think it's C.J. McCollum will be the answer.
I like that one. That's exactly what I was thinking because of his 3-point shot. Randy, who you got? Let's see. Warriors.
Honestly, I obviously people would say like they live and die by Steph, but the way it's been going lately, I think it has to be Clay. I think Clay has to be the one that steps up for them and doesn't average just 17. Has to have a 24, 27 point kind of game, kind of outing during the playoffs for them to go, because Andrew Wiggins and the other supporting cast, and Kuminga is injured right now, so just haven't been doing good. They've been doing good as of late, but come playoff time, a lot of those guys are going to be fresh in the playoffs. So it's a matter of the experience showing up when it needed the most.
All right, and coach. Knicks. Nuggets. No. Timberwolves.
X factor, because I'm not going to go with Anthony Edwards then. I'm going to go with Karl Anthony Towns. He has to be there to, bless you, he has to be there to help take the pressure off of Anthony Edwards, be a low post factor at those critical moments, but also be able to step out and hit those threes to help open up the lane for Anthony Edwards. And being that some consider him a superstar, he has to play like a superstar. He cannot disappear. He cannot play like a second fiddle. He has to play like I'm a 1A, not a number 2. I'm a 1A, and I demand the respect, which will also help that team in the long run.
Yep. All right. For me, who do I get?
Sixers.
Clippers. James Harden.
James Harden. The beard.
He kind of is. It's Mitch's answer, but he kind of is.
Yeah.
Everybody else is playing decent, but he's falling off. Okay, I'm sorry, Mitch.
I don't want to go with Harden. You know who I'm going to go with? Paul George. I'm going to go with Paul George here. Just for a matter of fact that he's the number one option, is he? Is he he's the second option, right? You would have to say he's the second option. So he's going to have to step up. His 3-point shooting is going to have to be a knockdown. and just Paul George. They're all focused on Kawhi. They're focused on not really focused on Harden, but they're more focused on Kawhi. Paul George, he can go up for like 20 to 30 points a night. So if he puts up 20 to 30 consistently, I'm going to go with Paul George.
16.7 points a game for Harden is not going to cut it if they want to be a super team. That's what I was looking at. I'm like,
how many assists does he have, though? Isn't he averaging like a double-double again?
8.5. But I mean, this is the same. I know it's not the same James Harden, but back in Houston, he averaged 36 points a game before. So he
averaged 40 a game.
Yeah, he's averaging 20 points less than he did in his prime, which that happens some. But, and you know, I'm a Harden hater, but if he steps up, I've said at the beginning of the year, as much as I couldn't stand Harden, if those four click and that team clicks, they would be dangerous. And look what they did midseason.
Yeah.
But they need all of them. They need all of them. This is playoffs. Everybody is raising their game. Everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, Coach, you wanted to talk about this next thing, and that is
I said it.
Playoffs?
Yeah. Is there an update on Randall, Coach?
Not so far. No, I haven't heard any updates on Randall. We don't know when he's going to be back. You still don't know what's up with OG. So right now it's just a wait and see if they're coming back even for the regular season.
All right. So Bronny James entering the transfer portal.
He's going to Duquesne. He's coming to Pittsburgh. He's going to Duquesne.
All right.
When I first heard that,
dreaming,
I said April Fools because it came out on April Fools.
Right.
And
it actually makes sense, though.
So now you're still talking about it. So I'm like, well, wait a minute. Is this legitimate? I mean, what happened to him coming out after his freshman year so he could play with his dad? So now he's going to play another year, and
he's got Stephen A. Smith numbers at USC.
Yeah, it's first and foremost he's transferring. Why are you transferring? Why?
Dude,
you can't make it there, so you're going to step down. Isn't that a hit on the James family legacy then? Because you're supposed to be such elite, talented players and you should be able to stick it out mentally no matter what. You shouldn't be running from competition or whatever the case may be. Yeah, I get guys want playing time and they want to be the man. But this, come on, bro. Stop trying to be your daddy. Stop trying to be like your daddy, man. Be your own
at
self.
least with him, sorry to cut you off, he earned the right to at least say, hey, I want to go to Miami or Cleveland.
No, you're so right. It's like, Blaze just said it. His numbers are very, I mean, why are you transferring? I get kids who are like 10 points and they feel like if they had more opportunities, then, you had the opportunities and no disrespect, bro, you didn't earn it. And now you want to go. Now, if you're telling me you're going to a D3 school or a D2 school, all right, fine. Go do what you got to do. But right now, if you go into another, bro. I mean, that tells me you just can't cut it and you can't hold your daddy's job. That's what it boils down to, plain and simple. You can't. And I get the pressure from being a LeBron James son. It's something would never want, honestly, because that is a lot. That is a lot, and you're always going to be compared to daddy. But now you're running. Personally speaking, he's doing worse than his dad. At least, like Blaze said, like Nikki said, he earned the right. You haven't earned shit, and now you want to go and it's not about money because you got money out the wazoo, and I know USC is giving you money, and they're gonna make sure they give you money to keep daddy happy because daddy gonna come to the games, and that's gonna help sell out tickets or whatever, or just the thought of it. But now where you going? No disrespect to Duquesne, but that you're going to go to Duquesne. You really going to go from LA to Pittsburgh?
The only reason I said that is because there's a connection to LeBron. Yeah. And that's Bryce's number one option right now. Bryce's number one on his list is Duquesne. He has four colleges.
Boy. Okay.
Duquesne's on the up and up. I mean, but like
Yeah, no, you're right, Blaze. They usually do play good. Sometimes they play good basketball. It's up and up. I mean, it's in the Patriot League, so I kind of get it. You know, you're always going to have those ebb and flows. But all right, so Daddy's friend is over there, okay. But I'm just saying, bro, you gonna leave LA, the comfort. You're scoring 1 point, whatever, and you're gonna go to Duquesne and what? Probably score 2 points a game. 3 points a game.
Well, over there, he could probably start.
He could start.
He has talent. I don't think he's good enough for the NBA. I said that earlier in the year. I don't think he's good enough. Bryce has shown more moves and stuff that could be NBA type of talent. Plus, he's 6'4". I mean, you look at Bronny out there with USC. He doesn't look like he should be on that team.
Nope.
He doesn't. I mean, he has 4 or 5 freshmen that are above him already. So, I mean, in my opinion, that was a dumb mistake to even go there, number one. Because number two, I don't understand this either. LeBron is acting like he didn't even know Bronny wanted to transfer. I saw a quote from LeBron saying, hey, he's his own man now. Like, he's acting like he didn't even know he wanted to transfer. Number three, like Coach said, following in the footsteps of a legend, I would never want to try to do that. You're never going to live up to him. Look at Jerry Rice's son coming out in the draft. Look at Shaq's kid. Well, Shaq's kid had health problems too, but Scottie Pippen's kid, like all these guys, the second, third generation, how are they supposed to live up? Can you imagine the weight on their shoulder? Like, I met Bronny a couple of years ago. Great kid, but who knows how he's changed in the last 3 years. And I never even saw the uber talent like we talked about LeBron when he was, and there's jokes out there, LeBron never lost a game in college. And there's rumors Bronny's Duke is one option, which I
never won a game in college either.
I think he'd be in the same situation at Duke.
Even worse, probably.
Yeah, and like Coach says, I'm so like, because last week we talked about the transfer portal, and I think it's way too much. But in this scenario, I mean, I'm contradicting what I said last week, but in this scenario, I kind of don't blame him because he's never going to make it in USC. But I know what Coach said about it does look like he's running. He's using the portal as an advantage to go play. I'm kind of in a wait and see thing because I'm glad he's not going into the draft. That's the first thing I thought of when I read this. Thank God he's not hoping to go into the draft or just jump into the G League because he doesn't have that talent yet. He's too young. He's not developed. And I don't think he's going to hit another growth spurt. I just don't think he's good enough. And I think and I got to give Pat McAfee show a little bit of credit. Earlier today, they were talking about this. Bronny's best move probably is to go to a smaller school so he can get an opportunity and see if he can average 20 points a game. Because right now, that ain't cutting it. He wouldn't get drafted, and he would end up in the G League, and his namesake, some NBA team might want to take a risk on him in a year just because of his name. And that's dumb as fuck, if you ask me, if you're a professional team. I don't care who you are. But I'm very passionate about this because I was a Bronny fan. I wanted him to do good. But after I watched a couple USC games, he has no business being out there.
No. So, Randy, you did put in the chat here, Bronny Jr., 27% from the field.
Yeah. Yeah.
He would play like 4 or 5 minutes a game most of the time.
Yeah, it's just I have not much to say other than what Coach and Blaze said. They both nailed it.
Rios.
Yeah, like the guys have mentioned, he's just not. I don't see him making it to the NBA. I get wanted to transfer to another school, but does it really help your case if you go from a Division I school where you couldn't make it and you transfer to a Division school? Is that really going to help your game, help your cause, try to get drafted? I don't see it happening. If you want to go to another school, that's cool, but at the same time, I don't see it being a positive. 'Cause what do you gain from it? Why? Yeah. You dominated Division II basketball, but you're a bench rider in Division I. An NBA is not Division II. If that's what his ultimate goal is, it doesn't make sense in my eyes.
The Duquesne thing, I was tongue in cheek when I first said that because I saw them on the top of the list of Bryce. I would rather him go anywhere but Duquesne, to be honest, because there's a tie to his dad. If you're truly your own man, like your dad says, go somewhere where you have no ties, where you have to work for a starting job, where you got to earn those 15 points a game. No D2, no 3, stay in Division I, go to maybe a little bit smaller school. Like you guys are saying, is that really going to change who he is?
Yeah.
He'll have more floor time. Maybe he'll be more happy about his teammates, but hey, that was his fucking decision to go to USC with a loaded freshman class. What was he thinking?
Yeah. Nikki.
I mean, to me, it kind of does seem like he's trying to go somewhere else, but at the same time, it's like you didn't really do that well to begin with in the first place. It seems like you're just looking for somewhere else to boost your stats up to have a better shot at going to the NBA. And as of right now, I just don't see him. I mean, he could make it in the league one day, but right now, I don't see anything NBA worthy of him whatsoever. Yeah. And that's going to put LeBron's decision for his final stop in jeopardy if Bronny doesn't have what it takes to make it.
He should distance
without that happening.
Distance himself from his father is what I would think. Be your own man. Go somewhere where your dad doesn't have connections and try to earn it your own way, because otherwise everyone's just going to say you're just living off your dad.
But he's still going to have that pressure of being LeBron's son no matter where he goes.
Everywhere he goes.
Obviously,
he's going to have to prove himself no matter what.
And I just Googled like second generation NBA players, and I'm looking at a bunch of them. None of them had the pressure that a LeBron James son would have.
No, not
Gary, well, Michael Jordan's kid.
Not Tim Jr., not.
Well, we knew they weren't that good. Even when they were coming out, they were never.
Just saying.
But that is a good comparison.
Even in high school, they weren't good in high school. We could already tell, they're not going to make it.
I mean, Shaq's son, Sharif.
Until he got that health problem and stuff. Yeah. But he never, that's a kind of a different story. But Steph might be one of the only ones that outdid his dad by far, by a long shot. I forgot that Jalen Brunson's dad played. And Kevin, I didn't know Kevin Love's dad played. We know Klay Thompson, he outdone. Arguably, because his dad was really good too.
Yep.
And then second generation.
So a couple of years ago, LeBron James said that he wanted his son to go to Duke because of Coach K. So I'm just saying Duke is an option. If you get the chance to play with a generational kid like Cooper Flagg, I would take that. It is a lot of pressure, yes.
He'll never get the ball.
Living up to that, maybe for that pressure, he may want to play more.
He'll never get the ball at Duke.
He won't see the court. He won't see the court next year.
It'll be worse. Like Rio said, it's probably a worse situation if he goes to Duke. Here's a question I always wanted to ask a bunch of basketball fans. If LeBron, his dad, went to college, where do you think he would have went? The only two that I've heard is Duke and Ohio State. Would you guys think either of those or anywhere else?
I heard Kentucky.
No, I think it would have been Duke first, and then Ohio. Yeah. No, I'm sorry, Ohio State, and then Duke.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ohio State, then Duke.
Ohio State.
Ohio State would. I think if I would have been able to choose either one, obviously LeBron going to Duke and play for Coach K would be huge. Mm-hmm. But to go to Ohio State and try to elevate that team would have been more impressive to me if he did go to college. That's just my take.
It was funny. I remember Mike Korzimba or something. YouTuber did a video years back. What if LeBron went to college?
Yep.
His timeline had him doing 1 year at USC, then going to the Magic and Dwight Howard's spot.
Yeah. He only. That's a good point too, Nikki. If he did go to college, it would have only been for 1 year.
Right. So we got a little women's college basketball here, and that's Angel Reese. After she got eliminated by Caitlin Clark in Iowa, did you guys see her press conference and see how she broken down and everything? Has the hate gone too far?
Yes.
Because she said that she hasn't been happy ever since she won the championship.
Yep.
I'm going to let you guys go because I have a lot to say about this. So
you guys can go because I have absolutely nothing to say about either of these last.
I'll take it. And yes, I've seen comments and stuff about her that she needs to take that little hood attitude back to the streets, things of that nature. And yes, there are people that say, oh, well, she lost to Caitlin Clark, get over it and move on. Look what she did last year with the Ring Me. Well, Caitlin Clark also, before that, didn't she do the hand to the face and you can't see me? Don't players on the court say he's too small, or you flex and you make the muscle sign because he's not strong enough. Players have always done that. Yes. And she won the ring. So you damn right. She deserves the right to say, ring me. I beat you. I don't think what she was saying was a product of the court. And that's the issue I have, where people are trying to take, well, you did this on the court, so the actions are justifiable. No, it's not. No person deserves that, to be talked to be treated like that, to be looked down. And I'm going to keep it real. As a black woman, yeah, she's going to face more scrutiny than most average white women. I'm sorry. That's the reality. And yes, when she has an attitude, yes, people are not, they don't like it. Well, so what?
They ain't like Dennis Rodman's attitude either back in the day, but he's still one of the greatest of all time.
And that's my thing. This narrative, and this is why I say the hate, because I'm looking at the words that were said in these comments, and it's not talking about her basketball play. You're not sitting here saying, oh, well, she missed the read or she missed the free throw or anything of that nature. She missed the open J. You're talking about her character and who she is and any type of death threats. I've never seen death threats, but according to her, she's received it.
Let me ask you this, Coach. Let me ask you this. Let me interrupt you real quick. I want your take, because you follow college basketball, women's college basketball way more than me. And why did she wait? Because you just brought it up. Why did she wait till she lost in a press conference to bring all that up if it was really happening?
Because as she said, with her teammates, because now this is talking about her leadership. She has to be the strong one because she doesn't want it to see it affecting her, because it's going to affect her teammates. And Blaze, as athletes, when one of your teammate is going through it and you see it affects them, it does affect you. Because now you want to get back at people. You want to do more than what is, just go out there and play the game. And that's why she's waited, because she said she didn't want her teammates to see her like that. And you know what? I get it. I understand. I respect it. My biggest issue again is it's not what's on the basketball court. Is when you're taking whatever she did on the court and you don't like it. Okay, you want to say you don't like it? Say you don't like it. But now you're saying, that's her. You've spoken to her? Have you gone to dinner? Have you spent time with her? Most of 99.9999% of us don't know these athletes, and the main characteristics in them threatening them. And that's the issue I have. You're threatening them over a damn game. And because of something that her attitude or whatever on the basketball court, she's confident in her abilities. I would take 1,000 players like her with that type of attitude anytime. And those that don't like it, you know what? Kick rocks. Go ahead, Blaze.
See you guys.
Oh, yeah.
You said if you don't like it, kick rocks. I don't like it. So I'm kicking rocks. Actually, no. I've told you, and I said I wasn't going to talk anything, but it's hard for me not to talk because I did watch LSU versus USC. I watched it close. Iowa State. I watched it for the first college basketball game I've watched in years. I normally watch the final game, but it was so hyped. I want to watch it. To me, Flau'jae Johnson has a better game than Angel Reese, in my opinion.
Okay.
I think she's smoother. I love her jump shot. Angel Reese, I think, is kind of clunky sometimes. That's just my opinion. I've watched her once. I know why. She pulled 20 rebounds down, so you can't shit on that. I would like people to separate men's and women's basketball more. I think it's two different types of games.
Okay, Blaze.
That's me.
You know what I respect there, and I don't have a problem with what you just did. What did you just do? You talked about her game.
Yeah. Oh, I don't care about all the extra bullshit.
Yeah, and
that was my point. Why she shouldn't even have brought that up. She should have just took the loss. It's emotion. She was in bad shape. Your friend had to wipe tears out of her fucking eyes, so I get it. But I don't know. It's so tough.
It's tough, and you could tell because she had one more year of eligibility that she was going to be going to the WNBA. So now she left Maryland and went there and made a name for herself. And you know what? That is kind of hard. I get it. She came back for one more year. Earl, she could have came back for one more year and continued on. And but wait, you talked about her game. Yeah, is she one of these? I think she's going to be a glue type of person in the WNBA. She's not going to be a primary. She's going to be the type of a great comparison for me is she's going to be like a Charles Oakley. Charles could get you a little buckets, but he was mainly the glue guy, doing the dirty stuff, getting picks, getting rebounds, defending. That's what she's going to be in the WNBA. She's not going to be called on to be the primary scorer. There's no way. And I mean, she's 6'2". When she's going up against 6'6", centers, it's going to be a hard one for her. So, but like Blaze said, the separation. Now, men's and women, I get where he's going. My separation is what's on the court is on the court. Don't bring that off the court. Because as athletes, we always say, leave it between the white lines. Once you leave those white lines, it's over with. And the average fan, sorry, they don't know how to separate that. They put it all together into one instead of saying, you know what, they're athletes, that's their jobs, or that's what they're doing in college. Now they're off the court. They're people. They're human beings just like you and me. Leave them alone.
Yeah. All right. Let's go with Rios here. I want to hear Rios' take on this.
No, I agree with Coach. Like as as former basketball players, like we learn to keep it, just about the basketball. We don't care about the stuff off the court. Like we try to focus, like, hey, talk about their game. That's it. But the extra hate that she's been getting, it's totally unwarranted. And like Coach said, as a woman of color, she's going to get a lot more scrutiny than, like, say, Caitlin Clark would for doing the same stuff, like doing this. Like, who cares? Like the men do it. Like we don't give them shit about it. So why should we do it to this, young lady from LSU? Like, come on, man. Let them play and let them. You know what? They lose. But let's not set them death threats. Let's not,
Yeah. So,
What happened to his mic?
Who?
Blaze. I mean, Rios. He was saying something.
Yeah, it cut off.
Yeah, it's real low right now.
It's real low right now.
I'm lost.
Yeah, talk, Rios. Nope, it's real
Can't
low.
hear you.
Barely hear you.
Nothing. All right. Randy, you there? All right. Nikki.
It's just so dumb. It is. And a lot of the people that are doing this, obviously, yeah, there is some racist intention. It's mainly white people who don't like seeing someone of color have some notoriety, particularly a woman. They don't want anyone near Caitlin Clark in terms of notoriety. They don't want anyone doing the same stuff she does. So they have double standards. They make a bigger deal of Angel Reese taunting when there was really no big deal in the first place. He did the same taunt, just pointed to the ring to say, hey, we got the ring. And everyone makes a big deal out of it. I don't care personally. As far as Angel Reese goes, hey, she's going to the WNBA. She'll at least be a star there. She'll have some notoriety. Whether people want to view her as the hero or the villain, guess what? She's going to go there, be a star and do something. Wait. Okay, that's better.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Nope.
No, there's something in the background.
It's somebody.
I was muted.
Me too.
I think it's Mitch.
Is it me? Hold on, let me go.
I'm back. Oh, what the fuck?
It's Randy. No? That's bad, too. That's what we get for talking about women's basketball on the NBA podcast.
Twilight Zone.
Oh, wow, that's real bad.
Hello?
Technical difficulty.
Yeah, it's still there.
We'll see you next week, folks. Bye. Randy, he's gone now.
It's not Randy.
It's still happening.
Hello?
Is it me?
Oh, we muted everybody. It's not doing it now.
Hello?
It's not doing
Hey,
it
there we
now.
go.
It's Coach.
Okay.
It was Coach.
All right.
Do
So we're
you
good.
hear the echo still?
Nope.
No.
No.
Echo's gone.
Well, bring
I
Rios
was
back.
muted the whole time, Blaze. I really was, but I didn't know if it was.
It wasn't me.
maybe it's just
Remember
a
when I
glitch.
took my microphone out? It wasn't me.
We're
Just
good now.
probably a glitch.
Hey, Randy, how do you feel about this Angel Reese?
Yeah, I kind of agree, like with Rios and what Coach said. And kind of also what Nikki said too. No one wants to see a woman of color kicking ass and taking names. And as far as it goes, like we see these NBA players put on a persona when they're on the court and then act totally different when they're off the court, because you got to have a dog mentality. So when she's on the court, she's that leader with the dog mentality, and her teammates thrive when she's being that lead alpha. And she couldn't let them in on everything that was going on, because then that might take away that image of alpha and get them all distracted. And like Coach said, maybe one player or two players try to do a bit more, and then it throws the team off. So she said it when she said it. I feel bad for her. I feel like a lot of the stuff that was said shouldn't have never been said. But they are just, a lot of them are just trolls. And if it was roles were reversed, I'm sure a lot of people would be having a lot more to say. But
I want the high five. He's like, can I go to the bathroom?
No, I wanted to add something. I just wanted to add something.
Go, Blaze, high five.
Just one last thing.
Go for it.
Actually, Angel Reese is taking on the persona of her head coach. Because isn't her head coach kind of the same exact way? She's feisty, she's fiery, she has that attitude, she's always jumping around and she's colorful, whatever the case may be. Kim Mulkey has had her criticism. I'm not going to say she doesn't, but she draws it, and she purposefully draws it. But the point being is, Angel is just actually following her head coach, and most players will follow their head coach's lead. And if your head coach goes down there and it plays with attitude and grit and determination and wants you to do that, that's all she's doing. That's all she's doing on the court. And if there are people that just don't like the attitude, I get it. Hey, I hear it in mainstream America. They don't like her because of her attitude. Okay, well, what you gonna do? But she's playing, and when she gets off the court, she's very nice. She's personable, and on the sexism, the sexism, I will say, baby girl, when you go out there and you take these bikini shots or whatever, and you post it online, that one I can't support you on, because you're drawing the attention. And I'm not saying women can't wear what they want, but when you post it, it's going to draw comments. And those comments are going to be sexualized. We also live in a world, even with men, the men could come out 6-packs, all defined and cut up and all this and that, and women will go crazy. He comes out in a pair of gray jogging pants, and what's the first thing they do? They look at his Johnson. They try to see what's going on. We live in a sexualized world, though. Seriously. Yeah. What do I always say about me? I'm the sexiest fat man that you know, and I believe that. But I'm also sexualizing myself purposefully. And you know what? If you're confident in your body, I don't think there's anything wrong in showing off your body and saying that, hey, I'm confident, I'm beautiful. Go for it. So
my only thing, looking from the outside looking in, was to call out harassment and death threats and sexualization when you're about to be a pro. That shit ain't going away. It ain't going away. I mean, it's going to happen to her throughout her professional career. And like Coach said, unfortunately, that's the society we live in. Women's sports are going to be sexualized all the time. They're going to say, oh, look at that chick. She's amazing at volleyball, but she's ugly as shit or something. It's like, it's not fair, but that's the way it is.
Guilty.
All women's sports will be sexualized. You'll be sexualized if you're a professional sport. Look at like the bra, with that football league they had where they wore like bras and panties and shit.
Oh, I love that move.
Guys want to see that. Girls want to see hot guys. I mean, that's human nature.
You mean they don't want to see Borat in a mankini?
If she would have left out the sexualization thing,
or Blaze.
Go ahead, Blaze. I'm sorry.
I said if she would have left out the sexualization thing, she would have just said, you know what, getting death threats and harassment and stuff like that is just too much. And I think it would have eased it, because this is not me. I'm just saying the general public seeing her say that for the first time after she lost and didn't have the greatest game, it's going to look like an excuse. It's not, because no one should get that treatment. No one should. But I understand why a lot of the people are saying, oh, you lose and now you're going to come out saying you're all sad and you're crying and stuff. No, she's a human being. She is just like everybody else. But it's only going to get worse as she becomes a pro, especially if the bigger eyes are on that product, as it should be once these two go up there.
And we also can't sit here and also assume that she wasn't behind closed doors crying and also weeping and sad. And then when she came behind and coming from the cameras, she put that dog mentality on because she wanted to show her teammates that she's still her. So like you said, Blaze, it goes either way. She said what she said, and it is what it is. People just got to be better. That's all.
But they won't, or shit.
And for me, it has to go to her social media, because she's got millions and millions of followers on Instagram, kind of what Coach said with all pictures and whatnot. She brought most of that on herself, but when you talk about like death threats, sexualization, and stuff like that, I mean, people are just going to keep on talking out their mind for the rest of her career now. It's only going to get worse from here. It's going to keep going. And I'm just like, that's just the social media. I take.
She should expect that in the future. Unfortunately, she should expect it.
Yeah, you guys are right about that.
Put a group of people around you to help you realize it's not personal. It's just people being assholes. And it's not pure emotion. When you lose, you're using pure emotion in that press conference. So I'm not saying I don't believe what she said, but it's just, I don't know.
All right. And now for our final, if we have to talk about Angel Reese's rival, Caitlin Clark, because they're talking about her and Klay Thompson having a 3-point contest. Could be in the works.
No, I don't want to. I'll be the unpopular opinion. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see any more men versus women shit. I think it's only going to cause more problems than good in the long run. I like that they did it this year. I don't want to see it every year. I don't
know if they're going to have it every year. I was just talking about this year.
Well, that's what they're going to talk about. They're trying to do it again this All-Star break with these 4 or something, playing 2-on-2.
Blaze, they just did it with the McDonald's All-American, and a girl won.
I'm just saying.
So
it doesn't. We talked about this a couple weeks ago when the All-Star break happened. Mm-hmm. What happens if Steph won? He just beat a girl. What happens if the girl wins? It's like no one really wins in that situation, in my opinion. In the long run, maybe more eyes on the women's product, but this is just me. I am unpopular opinion. Shout out NYG. I am unpopular opinion in this. I understand, but I do not want. I consider women's basketball a very different sport from men's basketball. That's me. Yes, there's still a hoop. There's still a ball, which is smaller. The line's different.
So there's no alley hoops.
The sizes are different. The way they shoot is different. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just a different. It's a different way to play basketball, in my opinion. They're great players. I'm not knocking their talent. It's just not for me.
I think it has to do with their exposure, though, for the WNBA.
Let the play on the court expose them. They got some great players finally with big names coming up. Do they need to tap into the NBA to get exposure now?
I mean, if it works, it works. Look at the ratings that we have with this game.
But it's an actual basketball game.
Yeah.
Exhibition. I'm telling you, everyone's probably going to disagree with me on this, and that's fine.
I'm not. No. I'm just saying, after that moment after Sabrina and Steph, the WNBA has got a lot more eyes.
I mean, think about it in one regard. You got Ice Cube wanting to offer her $5 million to play with men.
Are there people buying season tickets to WNBA because she shot basketball against Curry?
Yes.
Who, Sabrina?
Yeah.
Sabrina, whenever the Liberty come to town, whoever they're playing, they're going to sell out. The 2 teams that will help you sell out are the Las Vegas Aces and the New York Liberty. And yes, because Sabrina competed at that level against Steph, yes, there are young girls who they're going to beg their parents to take them to go see her play. They're going to buy her sneakers now. They're now into merchandising. See, you said,
I get that. I want the women's game to grow, but here they look like a high school basketball game to me. That's what it looked like. That's me. It did not look like a professional game.
The 3-point shooting?
No, I'm talking about the LSU game in Iowa State. It looked like a high school basketball game to me.
I wouldn't say
Told you I'm
high
unpopular
school,
opinion when it comes to
because
this.
Caitlin Clark, the way she was shooting is not. I mean,
She
her
wouldn't
shot-
last
out.
a week
She
in
was-
the NBA. She shoots from here. That shit would be right back in her face 9 times out of 10 shooting like that. She's great shooter in the sport she's playing in. I don't want to talk. She goes to the big 3 to make money, then she's just getting the bag. I'd rather see her go to WNBA and raise that game. I'm not
disputing
she would get
that.
embarrassed in the big 3.
I'm not disputing going to the WNBA and helping raise it. Randy will tell you. I said her and Angel Reese kind of is giving me a rivalry feel of when Bird and Magic were coming from Michigan State and Indiana State to the NBA, and they helped raise it. So yes, I agree with you there in that regard. But I'm also not going to be mad at somebody because they want to go get that paper, because she is not going to make that in the WNBA. She's just not until the
rookie contract's not even 100,000.
No, they're now signed
both. Because Big 3 is only like 5 or 6 games. It's not a long season. She could still.
Then what happens if she gets hurt in a 3-on-3 game with a bunch
and the WNBA is not going to contractually, they're not going to let her do both.
Yeah, I wouldn't either
because of that, they don't want to see her get hurt and then she can't perform. So it's either and it's just like with the WNBA, what they're doing internationally, where they're in a sense, if you can't be here at the beginning of the season for the WNBA season, then stay where you are and come back the next year. So they contractually are doing that because they want to grow the game here. They do want to grow it, but it's a dilemma. It's a catch-22.
These next few years are crucial for the WNBA because for the first time, and I heard this on TV the other day, and it kind of hit me. You got like 10 big names in the WNBA after this year and the next couple years. So you're not only talking about, hey, why go watch the WNBA for 3 good players? Now it's like they have a group that would bring that to the next level. I still probably won't be a fan, but I'm being real about it. They have to be very careful what they do the next couple years. And they can definitely raise that whole league. And
it's going to keep elevating because now once she's gone, Caitlin Clark, all eyes are going to be transferring to Juju Watkins now. And
I was just going to say that, Juju. Yeah,
she's a freshman. So now you got to see because they have to. They can't go to the W until after their 4th year in college. So Juju has another 3 years, which is going to help intensify. And there's a group of high school girls that are really starting to help elevate, are working to elevate their game. So that's what they're hoping for with the WNBA. Because of Caitlin, she's going to get young girls who are going to go in and they're going to want to work on their craft and play basketball and get better. And the ones who are here now in college are going to work and get better. I mean, we're not even talking about whatchamacallit down at Stanford. I mean, that girl can also play too. What's her name? Randy, Cameron Brink. She's a 6'5". She's kind of a wing, but she can also play. But the point being is, the women's game has talent. It's always had talent. I mean, go back to Rio's time with the comments. I mean, there's always been talent. Lisa Leslie, look at what she.
Cheryl Miller, Rebecca Lobo. Those are the ones I think of.
Yeah, so it's always going to be talent, but now it's the drawing of the eyes and really elevating the sport. That's the thing, and that's why I look at Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese to a certain extent. Camila Cardoza down at South Carolina. If you don't know who I'm talking about, go pull up. She's the one who got suspended when they were fighting, and she came and pushed, one of the LSU players. I mean, she's 6'7", and she has a very good game, and it's going to translate. So.
Cameron Brink is 6'4", like she's a monster.
6'4", yes, 6'4", and she can play.
And
she's skinny,
she is beautiful.
She's beautiful. She's dating the I think her boyfriend.
Don't sexualize them.
Her boyfriend is on.
I'm just commenting.
No, if you see her, you're gonna be like, oh wow, it's the same thing with
I'll take Haley Van Lith.
It's the same thing with Haley. Yep, it's the same.
No, Jalen Suggs has got her already.
Jalen Suggs got her though. That's her boyfriend. So, but again, you know, the game is elevating, you know, for everyone else, not for me. I've been following women's basketball since I was in high school. So, you know, and it's just, but it continues to grow and become more and more popular, you know, and as a grandfather of a girl, that if she decides to play basketball, this is what I want to see, where if she can go to the WNBA down the road, now she can also make money, because right now it's $260 for your top salary. But when you got a Caitlin coming into the league,
that's what I want them to do. I want these two ladies and a handful to go up to raise the bar in the pay. Yes. I want to see more people in the stands and shit like that. And I will sexualize the shit out of Skylar Diggins. So
from
the first time I saw her, was it Notre Dame she went to or whatever?
Yep, Notre Dame.
I will sexualize the fuck out of her. Sorry.
But see, guess what? We're gonna do that just like now. The way we're talking about it, don't think women don't do the same thing. They follow teams sometimes because of, oh, he's cute or whatever the case may be. Guys are gonna, you know, oh, she's sexy. She got, you know, a certain body part that I like or whatever. You know,
but TV. Then it's about appearance when you're on TV, no matter what sport, TV, movies, celebrity, that comes with the territory being sexualized.
Yeah. So I just love it. I want to see the sport in the elevation, and if it starts with a man versus a woman initially. Hey, as long as you get the foot in the door, that's the first thing that I want to see. So, but go ahead, y'all got it.
Yeah. So for me, I'm just talking about the future here. Like, look at all these girls who love Caitlin Clark now. They might want to go out there and shoot like 30 feet now. I'm done. Is this going to keep on happening with Caitlin Clark can play? Probably. We talked about last time with Dame Lillard. I think it might happen. I don't know if it's going to be happening every single year, but I can see it happening for like one more year. I wouldn't mind. I liked it. I honestly liked it. It was fun. It was entertaining. It was definitely better than a dunk contest.
Yeah, for me it was. I can't lie. I enjoyed that. You know, but again, I'm coming from
dunk contest. Their ass.
As bad as that dunk contest was, I liked it better than the women. I told you, I'm a popular opinion when it comes to
I respect you for that, and you know I support.
I'm a dunker. I want to see. That's another reason why I'm not a big fan of girls college basketball. And doing two-handed reverse tomahawk dunks and shit like that. That's what excites me. That's just me. I'm sorry. No disrespect to any of them women athletes, because I respect any athlete, but it's not my cup of tea. I will shut up. I am sorry. I will shut up.
You like the dunk. I get it. There's nothing wrong with that, bro. That's what you like. And so stop apologizing for that. Yeah, that's your feeling.
I want to give the other guys time. I'm very passionate about this because that's just my opinion. I know it's not popular, but I'll shut up. You guys go ahead.
All right. Rios, how do you feel about Caitlin Clark versus Klay Thompson, if that actually were to happen?
Yeah, I would like it because I enjoyed last year with Steph and Sabrina. So it was something interesting, something we haven't seen before. And hey, I'm all for it. If it brings more eyes to the game, brings more eyes to the WNBA, hey, I'm all for it.
Yep. Nikki, how do you feel about it?
Hey, I feel it's a good idea. I mean, the first one was successful. It got people talking about Sabrina a little bit, and now you got someone in Caitlin Clark who people already know who she is. You put her in a 3-point contest, it'll definitely draw eyeballs, and it'll be good for all parties involved. So go for it.
Last year, Sabrina tied all the men in the 3-point contest with 27. Just saying. Randy.
Now people know who she is.
Not the same distance.
Yeah, it was.
She was shooting from NBA 3?
Yes.
Last year? Yeah. Not this past year.
Yes.
I didn't see the last one.
Who, Sabrina?
Yeah.
Sabrina's been pulling up damn near from half court for her whole career.
I'm saying in that competition.
In the competition.
Was she using a women's ball or a guy's ball?
No, she was using a women's ball. In the competition, she used the orange and white ball. She did not use a male ball to shoot.
Which wouldn't be fair, to be honest, because she's not used to it. But at the same time, we're using a different ball.
Yep. All right. Randy, how do you feel?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing it again. I'm a big fan of Caitlin Clark's. I've been following her here for 2.5 years now. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I definitely be for it for sure.
Yeah, I could not. I don't know.
And by the way, do we have any kids in here
Probably.
in the chat?
Probably.
No, it don't matter.
Oh, never mind. I'm not gonna do it.
But
I'm not
this
gonna say
ain't for
it.
kids.
Private chat.
We're gonna end the show now. We're gonna end it now. So, all right, guys. Appreciate everyone tuning in to the Pick and Roll Podcast, episode number 63 or 65. Oh my God, we were talking about 3-point competitions. I want to shout out Blaze Radio, Coach Ed Glenny, Randy, or Next Shift Randy, Nikki Steve, and Rio from the Clutch Fans Podcast. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Appreciate you. And there you go, Nikki. Shout out from Straight to the Point Sports. There you go. On that note, guys, we're gonna hit. Make sure you guys hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell, and we'll catch you all next week. Peace.
Sexualize the